Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Wednesday, June 26th. Our impacts are becoming more significant now. We do see significant wind impacts the next 3 days. We've broken it down into two categories where we expect to see critical winds with dry fuels here in the orange the next 3 days, compared to where those winds will also occur and fuels will be somewhat less critical, or at least more isolated in nature. So these are our main concerns. You'll see a slow-moving trough low pressure is going to continue these southwest winds through the Great Basin, especially the southern half of it, for the next several days. A look at precipitation past 24 hours. A lot of this was evaporated before reaching the ground. Very little actually reached the ground. Did have some scatterings of lightning. And this is probably where we had a little bit of precipitation reaching the ground across the Ruby Mountains and into far northwest Utah, into southern Idaho, and of course the mountains of central Idaho where fuels are still quite moist. Did have some new fires starting to pick up. New fires in the red circles outside of Winnemucca had over 1,000 acres occur yesterday. So still ongoing recent fires in the yellow. Observed precipitation the past 7 days and the past 14 days shows how dry it's been the past week across the western half of the Great Basin, southern Idaho. And southern Idaho has been drying out for quite a while here in the Snake River Plain and across parts of the western Great Basin into the Las Vegas area, but some measurable precipitation in the past 2 weeks across the higher terrain of the eastern Great Basin. Our ERCs have gradually been drying out. You can see more and more in the yellow and even some more critical orange 70th to 80th percentiles here in northern Utah and down into the Arizona Strip. And of course, this doesn't tell the whole story. For grasses and very fine fuels, 10-hour fuels tend to tell a better tale. You can see the red here in our southern areas and even this pink area. Red is basically 3 to 4% 10-hour fuels, 5 to 6% in this shade of pink through here. So our main concern is southern and western areas right now. Also 100-hour fuels for grass and brush areas tend to tell a good story. Northwest Nevada, they've dried out considerably and they are now near normal levels, normal being the gray line, record levels being the red, last year's levels being the dashed line. So you can see current 100-hour fuels very similar to what they were last year. Similar story down in southern Nevada and also down into the Arizona Strip in southern Utah. 100-hour fuels have dropped down to normal late June levels, which is typically the driest time of year before the monsoon hits. Live fuel moistures, because of our wet, cool spring, still above normal, both in southwest Idaho, northern Nevada, and down into the Arizona Strip, but they're coming down fast. These samples were 2 weeks ago. New ones should be coming out by the end of the week. So we'll see how much they've dried out closer to normal. They'll have to get down closer to normal levels to have fire burn through the brush as well as the grasses. Satellite imagery again shows an unseasonably deep, more of a late winter, early spring storm system in terms of depth. The tightness of these height lines indicates strong southwest winds. A lot of this cloud cover here, you see enhanced colors, is actually high clouds aloft, hence the cooler colors, but very dry air at the surface, so not expecting any precipitation here. Upper level map for today shows that high cloud cover up through here. Tight southwest wind packing. We have high risk for critical winds gusting over 30 miles per hour over dry fuels with low humidity over a large portion of the western southern Great Basin and adjacent areas of the southwest and northeast California. And here are the winds. You can see them through here. These orange to purple shades, gusts in the mid-20s to mid-30 mile per hour range in a lot of areas. The further east you go, however, fuels not as critical, especially across northeast Nevada where they've had some showers and thunderstorms. But here are the humidity levels on the right, single digits in the south, low to mid-teens further north, and then 20s as you head into the higher terrain of Idaho. On Thursday, a little deceptive. You look at this trough low pressure and see this moisture through here and you think that this will be showers, but in reality it's just mid and high level clouds. So the low level should stay dry. We still expect critical conditions with high risk for the western Great Basin down to Vegas, into the Arizona Strip and southern Utah. But again, a fine line between critical versus non-critical fuels yet. And here are the belt of stronger winds. You actually see them sliding a bit further south and east, but this pink area, gusts near 40 miles per hour, otherwise in the orange, 25 to 35 mile per hour gust, with humidity levels in the single digits to mid-teens across a lot of these areas. On Friday, not much changes. Low weakens a little bit, but still maintains a strong southwest flow. Where you see areas in the green through here, you'll probably see mid and high level clouds with the sun kind of hazily peeking through, but no precipitation. It's this dry tongue down here in southern Nevada, southern Utah, the Arizona Strip, where we continue with high risk for critical winds, low humidity. See that low humidity here on the right-hand side, again, single digits to low teens in a lot of areas. And here in the enhanced orange to purple areas, the wind gusts of 25 to 35 miles per hour. So precipitation actually reaching the ground the next 3 days, not much except in some parts of southeastern Idaho, but otherwise south of there, just high clouds. Further down the road, Saturday, there's a pull of some subtropical moisture through here, but again, a lot of this will be high-level clouds, mid-level, not much reaching the ground. Still good southwest winds. You can see where we've really dried out areas in the brown versus the yellow and green. And we continue to dry out a little bit on Sunday. Again, trough of low pressure here, unseasonable, and this pattern is preventing the Four Corners high in the monsoon from really getting going. As you can see, Monday, this low builds in. We get more moderate winds under this trough, more and more areas of Nevada and Utah drying out. And by the time we get into Tuesday, we're seasonably hot and dry, very little moisture, a bit of a decrease in winds. Any monsoonal moisture or residual parts of it trying to get going will be over New Mexico, but even then, this flow pattern will be coming out of the west and northwest there, so no real sign of the monsoon into early July. No precipitation over the entire 7-day period other than what we mentioned across eastern Idaho. And the 8 to 14-day outlook, again, shows a cooler than normal signal across parts of the area. That's because the Four Corners high not being established, not producing as much hot weather as it normally does, and not really producing as much monsoonal moisture as it normally does, but the above normal precipitation will be for the northern portion of the Great Basin, where you could still see weak troughs of low pressure brushing by with clouds and occasional showers, which will of course produce gusty winds and low humidity further south. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.